In a few days, I faced dangers I had never imagined. What began as an expedition into the jungle became a battle for survival, alone without water or food and surrounded by predators. However, there was an unexpected detail that saved my life, and today I reveal how I did it. The jungle feels like another world. Towering trees rise like buildings, blocking almost all sunlight. Every step could be the last if you are not careful. Its paths are illogical labyrinths, its life is relentless, and its rule is simple: the strongest survives. But who would venture alone into the jungle? That is why I did not go alone to the jungle. I went with my companions, and on our way we reached a local tribe. They warned us about dangerous areas and animals to avoid. They taught us about jungle culture, its food, its customs. And while we talked, they invited us to try the local food. They showed us some fat grubs, but luckily they cooked them instead of serving them raw, and I still remember the taste of that strange grub, amazingly similar to chicken. An unexpected delight in the heart of the wild jungle. The next day, while my companions observed more closely the tribe's customs, I spotted a strange animal, a red monkey in my eyes. It was very unusual because of its color. I was curious and wanted to take a photo, but the monkey moved away from me, and in my attempt to capture a good image, I wandered too far from camp. When I tried to turn back to return, I suddenly found myself lost in the heart of the jungle. There is no more terrifying feeling than being completely alone in a place with no trails, no signal to call for help. Every shadow and sound could hide something lethal. Every crackle in the foliage made me hold my breath. I knew I had to be extremely careful, as the jungle is full of dangers and creatures it is best not to encounter. Thankfully, I was carrying my travel pack, which gave me a small advantage. I tried to find a way back, but it was useless. The vegetation was so uniform that I could not distinguish a clear path. When night fell, I decided to set up camp. In my backpack, I had a portable tent, and with some effort, I managed to start a fire to light the area and keep warm. That first night, I felt great anguish and anxiety, and it was no wonder because I understood who my true neighbors were and what real danger meant. While I was in the tent, a jaguar moved silently in the darkness right by my shelter. Its distant roar chilled my blood. Through a small gap in the tent zipper, I saw something that paralyzed me: two eyes shining among the bushes. I remained still, not breathing, not daring to move a single muscle. I slowly backed away without averting my gaze, avoiding any direct eye contact. That night, I understood the true meaning of fear. Sleep was impossible. The fear consumed me, but at dawn something unexpected happened. In front of me, holding a fruit, was the same red monkey I had tried to photograph. For a moment, I thought it was offering me food. I approached and tried to grab the fruit, but the monkey climbed a tree and ran away. And even though I tried to take the fruit from its hand, many times the monkey would flee and would not give it to me. So I sighed resigned and told myself the important thing now is to return to a safe place. I tried to use my phone, but there was still no signal. I checked my backpack. I had a little water and some food enough for one day. With no better option, I started walking aimlessly. Hours later, I came upon a swampy area. Immediately, I remembered what the tribe members had warned us: never to enter a swamp, as it is full of anacondas. And just as I was thinking about that, I saw an enormous anaconda sliding slowly a few meters from me. I held my breath. My only hope was that it was not hungry, and luckily, its swollen belly indicated it had eaten recently. And fortunately, it simply ignored me and continued on its way. But at that moment, fear wrapped me like never before. I backed away with extreme caution until I was far from that area. Even then, I felt a deep fear. I left that place, vowing never to return to swampy zones. On the third day, my situation became critical. My water supply had completely run out, and the thirst was starting to consume me. I recalled the basic survival lessons I had learned before the expedition. I knew I had to find water soon, or I wouldn't survive much longer. Using the few navigation skills I had, I started looking for any signs of a possible river or stream. With renewed energy, I quickened my pace until I reached a small river with clean water hidden among the vegetation. Never before had the simple sound of water seemed so beautiful to me. I approached carefully, remembering the warnings about caimans and other aquatic predators, since even small creatures can cause serious harm. I examined the area thoroughly before kneeling down at the riverbank. I took out my canteen and filled it to the top, adding a few drops from the purifier I always carried in my emergency kit. While I waited for the water to be safe to drink, I refreshed my face and arms, feeling how life returned to my exhausted body. This river not only provided me with vital water, but also a route to follow. Rivers usually lead to human settlements, and if I followed it, my chances of finding help or recognizing some landmark that could guide me back to the camp or the village would increase. With renewed hope and a full canteen, I decided to follow the river's path. The jungle felt less threatening now that I had water and a clear direction. Maybe, after all, I would survive this trial of extreme survival. But as I walked along the river, I had a freeze in place. Fear nearly paralyzed me. A jaguar had come down to the water to drink. I hid as quickly as I could behind a tree and waited silently. When it finally moved away from the river, I came out of hiding and resumed my path, but with a serious scare in my chest. Although wild animals are usually frightened by human presence, it's better not to find out if one of them doesn't react the same way. I camped near the river. At dawn on the fourth day, I began to move forward, following the current. The path was difficult, alternating between muddy banks and sections where the vegetation was so dense that I had to get into the water to continue. I knew the river could be as dangerous as it was generous, so I kept my senses alert. It didn't take long for me to face the dangers that lurk in these waters. While crossing a shallow area, a wrong step made me stumble. This story will continue. This is where the first part of this jungle survival story ends. If you'd like to see the continuation, don't forget to write part 2 in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more videos. Until next time,